First of all, may we introduce ourselves. I'm Chester, he's Wade, he's Marco, and Scarlett. We are Patrick Dawn's consulting team. We all are the professionals from different perspectives, including the management, HR, strategy, and operations. On behalf of the West Indies Yacht Club Resort, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to all of you for your devotion and effort. Today, we are here to provide feasible direction and solution for strengthening the relationship between two parties, expatriates and locals. Furthermore, we would like to thank you all of you for assisting us in identifying the challenges in the resort. At the end of the presentation, we hope our experience can contribute the resort to be a warm family. Before starting the consultation, we would like to share an example with you. Did anyone of you go traveling in Europe before? Do you still remember how to make friends easily? If you don't, I hope my story may give you some insight about it. I went to Greece for traveling last year. Although it was just a short trip, I still wanted to make local friends. However, I may undervalue the influences of cultural differences. When I was enjoying the nice dinner in Greece, I gave a phone to the female cook. However, it was a start of the trouble due to my misunderstanding of culture. In Greece, giving a phone means a rude sexual side. Due to my misbehavior, I was resulted in being blamed by the local people. Luckily, someone helped me to solve these problems about the differences between cultures with explanation. Finally, the cook is forgave me, but up till now, it's still a memorable and thoughtful experience in my life. Actually, this story is just like a mini version of the resort. Do you think so? I will further explain in details. After the first week of observation, we have figured out 4 decisive goals that you will probably want to achieve immediately. The first one is to encourage a sense of belonging. By communicating with you and the staff, we discovered that there are some connection problems between both parties. We may be afraid that it will result in an unfavorable consequence, so we emphasized on the sense of belonging first. Second, we will strengthen the relationship between both parties as the second goal, because we want to help resort to strike a warm family. The third goal is to enhance the customer service quality in order to give the customer an enjoyable experience. The last one is to reinforce the staff morale. We believe that the morale is definitely important to the whole business. If a company have a high morale, it will have a strong linkage and influences with each other. It seems complicated to achieve 4 goals immediately. Indeed, that can be easily solved if you take our advice into consideration. These goals actually have a high linkage with the cultural issues. In order to reach all goals successfully, we should understand the differences between the United States and the British Virgin Islands first. The first difference is that the American is more focused on individual itself. However, local are more emphasized on group and relationship. Let me give an example for you. By our basic knowledge, money is a good incentive to encourage people for advanced performance, especially in US. Nonetheless, local people have a higher interest in relationship instead of money incentive. The second is the differences of facing risk. For US, they are more willing to take the risk and make a direct decision. However, the local people like to avoid risk easily. They would rather follow the rules and instruction instead of making a decision. After understanding the differences between two parties, I will pass the weight for recommendation details.
The first thing you may try to do is to hold more gathering with your local staff, as it can help to improve the communication between you and your subordinates and strengthen the connection with you and them. You may wonder which kind of gathering you should hold so that you can have a better understanding on your subordinate. You just have to invite your staff to come to your home. For example, you can invite your team to come to your home in Christmas and have a dinner with your staff and their family. Instead of sitting with expatriate, you can try to sit close with your staff during the dinner so that you can easily to open the conversation with them. Remember to treat your staff as friends and find more common interests with them. When you understand their interests, you can then invite your staff more frequent, like watching sport match during the off-peak season. You can then break the ice between you and the local staffs and know more on the local culture, like what they are value. We also inform the resort to organize more formal gatherings like seasonal staff banquet and thank you dinner, which aims to appreciate the employee performance. These official gatherings are the platform for you and the local to get to know each other. As all the staff are compulsory to join a gathering, so you should join this gathering to give respect and start to connect with the local staff. You may not have a lot of conversation with the local staff, but at least you can know their names and how they behave. This first step can help you to build a connection with the local, and afterward, when you start holding more gathering with them. The second thing you may also try to do is to join the training program that focus on the BVI local culture and the management skill for expatriate. The training program will be provided to both the locals and expatriate. After the training program, you will be able to explore and appreciate the local culture and communicate with the local staff in an effective way by adapting and changing the management style to the local requirements. For example, you can know that what kind of guideline you should give to the local so that they will not escape from work due to the high illiteracy rates and high willingness to avoid risk and uncertainty. A work demonstration from the team manager can let the locals know how to respond in different situations, so they will have more motivation when a clear guideline is given. For long-term effectiveness, the program will conduct the customer service so that we can analyze the effectiveness of the training program and know what can be included in the next training program by revealing on the performance of the local staff. When the details of the program is revised, an additional program will be open for all the staff to join in order to keep improving the service qualities and efficiency of work by understanding more on the cultural difference. So now we'll pass the time to Scarlett to talk more on the recommendation.
Thanks, Wade. Now I'll talk about another short-term recommendation. We suggest you to appoint one team manager of different departments to execute the daily briefing. So every morning before the opening of the resort, each department can hold a briefing which lasts for around 30 minutes. It can update everyone on anything that affects the day's operation. So the clear indication can help enhancing customer service quality and boost staff's morale. First, the team manager should provide the instruction regarding the daily work requirement and set up goals for staff. For example, in front desk service, the dressing of staff should be decent and tidy. A checking by manager can ensure an adequate business-like attitude is presented. So, some local staff may need direct rules and orders to follow, so we can remind them the importance of smiling and ask them to look directly at people and address them when they enter the resort. Second, an evaluation of previous day performance can prevent making the same mistake in the future. For example, if there are complaints about no one helped with the customer's luggage and so many mosquitoes in the evening, on the other day, you should assign 2 staff standing at the front door for carrying customer's bag and ask them to spray for bugs out on the terrace. And of course, you can show appreciation when they have done well. You can simply just say, "You are doing great, continue the good work." So appreciation is one of the top motivation for employees to work harder and to be more committed to their companies because it confirms their work is valued. At last, there could be a section for staff to ask questions. It is also a great way to get feedback from them on things that needs addressing sooner rather than later. In long term, I know that you have a frequent visit to the resort, but only in off-peak season. In order to have a deeper understanding on the operation during the peak season, we suggest you to make a visit in August too. So there are totally 4 visits per year, which are in February, May, August, and November, each lasting for 1 week. So, first 3 days you can focus on the working performance within the resort. You may often use meetings, email, chat, and other technology to talk about the work, but during the site visit, you can have a constant, quick discussion with the colleagues and answering questions in the moment as they were engrossed in joint work. So also to get familiar with the job duties in the resort, you can also practice in job rotation so that your approaches and thought process would be more transparent and have a deeper understanding of the local working style and capabilities. On the next 3 days, just get out of the resort and have one-on-one interactions with the locals. And you would find that they are willing to disclose more personal information and socialize more because they are not at work. You could invite them for a lunch or coffee. Take a visit to their home is also a good choice to get to know more about the local culture and people's personal lives. After the site visit, you will find that you can have a much better sense of the lives that people lead and establish a closer relationship with them, which creates a sense of belongings. Now I will pass the time to Marco.
Thank you, Scarlett. The last recommendation we will talk about is called Social Interaction Committee. We would like the resort to form a committee with 6 members, 3 locals and 3 expatriates. These 6 members should be veteran, as they have more understandings about resort and may know what is wrong or what could be improved in the resort in terms of communication and relationships between staff members. These 6 members should be voluntary to be in the team. We think the resort can provide financial or non-financial incentives as motivation, such as year-end bonus or several extra holidays for staff to join the committee. The purpose of this committee is to boost the interaction among you and the locals. We hope to improve internal communications and increase the cultural understandings here. Now, the question is, how does this work? It could be regular gatherings, but this committee is more than just gatherings. We want more involvement from USA to BVI, from expatriates to locals. Here is an example of what the committee can do. It is a prize ceremony. We think that staff here are not rewarded enough, so handing out awards to you and locals could improve the morale and motivation. There may be awards like Best Staff of the Year, as well as honorable awards to staff who dedicated hard works for the resort for many years, staff with the best smile, and the most impressive staff. For who can vote, we thank everyone in the resort, and also some loyalty customers who visit the resort every year are eligible to vote. Winners of these awards could have prizes like free nights in the resort and free flight tickets to elsewhere. These prizes will be sponsored by the company. Another example is called Cultural Appreciation Day. BVI is a resort with cultural diversity. You come from everywhere around the world, with different backgrounds. Locals could have different backgrounds and cultures too. In this event, staff who come from small countries or think they have unique cultures to share with will be invited to introduce their homeland and their cultures. Everyone in the resort will be invited to attend this section so that you can know more about different staff. This is aimed to ease the cultural difference. We assume the committee will hold these events during off-peak season so that none of this will lower staff's productivity and resource efficiency. To sum up the presentation, we have divided all our recommendations into 2 groups. One is short-term and one is long-term. For the short-term ones, we have further divided them into 2 categories. One is expatriate lead and one is company lead. For informal gathering and daily briefing, we hope you guys can take the initiatives to run them. For the formal gathering and training program, the company should further discuss the whole structure and then implement them as soon as possible. For the long-term ones, we do not expect the company to run them within a short period of time, as we assume these activities need more brainstorming and preparations. but we do expect these actions to be implemented by 1 year from now. If you have any question about the recommendations, please feel free to ask us during the Q&A section later. We hope after today's presentation, you all can be clear of what the current difficulties are and what approaches should be taken to solve them. We hope you find our ideas interesting and worthwhile to take. Thank you all for coming here. We appreciate your patience and time. Here comes Q&A section.